Hi friends, it's Becky and I want to share the Sweater Weather Companion Bundle from Bead Box Bargains. This is a bunch of beads and findings that were put together by the folks behind Bargain Bead Box. Their sister store is Bead Box Bargains, so they grabbed some things from their shop that they thought would accompany or go well with the Bargain Bead Box, put it up together as a companion bundle, and sold it to us at a discount. We could also use our 30% off coupon in order to get it. It is a limited quantity bundle and it has sold out. So it is not currently available. However, I will be showing each of the pieces on here. It used to be that we could give you the product number so you could look it up and see if they had any extras. But you can still look these up, you know, maybe with the name or something on their site. They have a pretty robust search function on there for the bundles. So it is sold out. Some of these things may be available on their site for purchase if they still have more. I am going to be organizing it into a 15 grid organizer. That is what we do on our channel. We open and organize because if I leave it in the bag, I'll never use it. But if it is in a box, then I can see everything all together and I can create with it. In fact, one of my favorite things to do is to get the bead bundle and then do a project where I create two different jewelry sets, one from the Bargain Bead Box and one from the bundle in one video. And I talked my sister into doing that with me. So look forward to that this next week. We're gonna come up with something fun to do. There are a lot of metals in this, and some of them are marked nickel free. The ones that are not, I'm gonna set aside and test for my sister so she'll know what she can use in her designs. But we'll just open this up, take a look at these beads. I'm gonna turn these over so I can see what the numbers are, and maybe go down the list in order so that we can 15, 16, 17. All right, let's get those over there. 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so that's a bunch of the metals. Right. So yeah, we'll start with the beads. We've got some lapis beads. We've got some of these other beads that we can take a look at. I think that these are pretty great, actually. All right. So number one is the lapis lazuli carved rose pendant. It is 33 millimeters in size, and let's take a look at mine. Because it's a gemstone pendant, yours might look a little bit different from mine. You might have more pyrite in yours, you might have less, you might have some different striations, and I can see some pyrite in this. It's that golden glittery bit. It's got a top drilled hole right at the bottom and a smooth backside with a couple of cuts in the back. This is a fantastic focal. Love it. It's a little too big for that one, but it fits perfectly there. Next, we've got two 16 by 12 millimeter carved flower beads. That's great, actually. They're both lapis as well. Oh, these are so interesting. They're like a little carved flower. In fact, you know what? They're kind of like spooky ghosts. Ooh, spooky. I love those. But you could have your rose pendant for your necklace, and then these guys as part of some earrings if you wanted to. I'm going to stick them together in that section. Make sure that'll still close. Yep, it sure will. All right. Next, we've got some matte lapis lazuli round beads. They are dyed. There's 14 inches of these, and they're 18 millimeters in size. And this makes me think of blue jeans. But you can actually see some of the pyrite in some of these as well, with a little bit of glitter going on there. Now this is a 16-inch strand, and it's 8 millimeters in size. I may need to put 2 sections down for this in order for them to fit, because this is a very long strand. There's nothing wrong with that. I like having generously sized strands of gemstones. It makes me happy to have more of those beads. And if you were watching last night on our live, I made this set of stacking stretch bracelets. The glue is dried, so I'm wearing them today. And we used the Midnight Skies bundle that they sold a couple of weeks ago. That was just something that I wanted to make during our live. It was a nice, easy, relaxing thing, but now that the glue is dried on our knots, I can actually wear it on that. I think we did a dual unboxing the previous week in our live, so I'll put links to both of those lives in the description below if you want to check out both the unboxing for this and when I made this last night. All right, next we've got some gray agate. These are 7 inches wide. It looks like it's trying to be a substitute for it doesn't have any flash, or it might be a good substitute for some labradorite, because it's that kind of moody gray color. But I'm going to go ahead and stick this right in back there. Hey friend, where are you going? These are a really fun glass bead, or not glass, gemstone bead. Next, we've got some petrified wood English cut faceted rounds. So we got some petrified wood in the Bargain Bead Box. They were rounds, and I believe they were also matte finish. But these are not matte, so you get more color, you get more variations. And the English cut gets you some views into some of the bits that make it actually look like petrified wood. How cool is that? See, that's why it is a companion to it. It's because it takes some of the same types of gemstones that you get in the Bargain Bead Box and turns them on their heads. All right, next. We've got some glass flower beads. Oh, actually, I think these ones were next. These are our 10 millimeter jasper rounds. So the 7-inch strand, and it might fit in one segment. It might not, though. Let's find out. These are some large beads. It just says jasper for the bead type. Let's get a couple of these up close so you can take a look at them. Several darker ones, a few lighter brown ones. And they do just barely fit. There's a couple extras. I'm going to have them visit their neighbors in my organizer, just so that I can make sure I could still close this at the end of the day. I've got some crystal rondelle beads in dark coral red AB. This is a 16-inch strand, and they are 6 by 4 millimeters in size. And look at that sparkle, and that AB finish just really throws a bunch of pretty colors off of there. of that dark coral color. This is like the color of cranberries almost. This dark coral color. It's a really long strand. These fit really well right here in just one segment. I don't have to put the sections down or anything for that. And then we've got some red rainbow jasper rondelle beads. These are also 6x4 millimeters. This is a 7-inch strand. And that is an earthier red. So we are really filling up with our beads. There's a lot of findings though too. And also I'm realizing this chain may take up quite a bit of space in here. So we'll see if we can get everything else in here first before we do that. But first we've got our glass flower beads in dark blue ombre. They are 10 millimeters in size and there are 20 of them in this pack. They're like bellflower shaped. And that's a very like Montana blue type of a blue. All right, so let's move on to our metals. We've got a 34 by 24 brass locket pendant in vintage floral. Let's see how she opens. Come on. Can't get her open. There we go. So you can set things inside of here maybe. Does this open all the way? I'm not sure how you'd fit something in here since I can't see how that would come out, but that's okay. It is a pretty brass locket, and it is not listed here as being nickel free, so I'm going to do some nickel testing on this one. Nothing on here, but for right now I'll go ahead and stick it in here. Then we've got some floral cutout round pendants. These are also not listed as being nickel free, so they may have nickel in them. But again, I'll do some nickel testing and check on that. These are really cool though, because you've got like your one loop over here, but then you've got multiple other connection points. These would be amazing as maybe connectors for, you could hang a pendant here and then 2 chains, one here and one here, and have that be a connection point there. You could have it be the center of a chandelier and have something dangling from here, from here, from here, from here. You could have it be a multi-point connector for, say, several different strands on a multi-strand design. So these would be very, very useful. And again, I will be testing those to find out if my sister can use them later. This is nickel free, these ornate scrolled medallion pendants. They are 35 millimeters and there are 2 of them. They are curved, so they bow out and bow forward. And there are multiple connection points. You could probably do something really fun with these, like maybe do some wire wrapping to wire wrap some smaller beads around the outside edges to, you know, dress them up, make them fancier. Something like that. They're very large. Yep, that's gonna work there. And again, they are labeled as nickel free. These scrolled vintage style drops, also labeled as nickel free. They're lead free, cadmium free. But they are also nickel free. So let's turn a couple more of these over. These are going to be really fun to play around with. These make great charms on a bracelet. Some dingles, add them to, get some jump rings and add them to some of these. They fit really well, probably between some beads as you string them on a design. Next we've got our filigree style chandeliers. There are 6 of these. They are 37 by 29 millimeters in size. They are nickel free. And let's see, back and front. For these ones, it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the loops down here. You've got additional loops along the edges, especially with this open edge. You could maybe even do like some brick stitching or something on there, or just begin doing your chandelier designs from there. These are going to be really fun. They're so big. Oh, friends, they are so big. I might not be able to fit those in there. Then we've got some floral puffed spacer beads. These are also nickel free. Most of these metals my sister's going to be able to use. I love that for her. These are really cool spacers. Love them. There are 20 pieces of these in the box. Let's get those over there. And then we've got some multi-loop floral links, also nickel free. They are 9 millimeters in size, and there's 20 of them as well. And these again would also be some good little connectors if you're doing a Y-shaped necklace or something. You could do tiny chandeliers where you've got that part looped to something, and then you could have 3 different things hanging down from those. Definitely multi-point connectors give you lots of options and lots of opportunities to do some fun things with them. Yeah, that's definitely not going to fit. I'm going to need to do something with those. That is not necessarily a bad thing. Then we've got some textured round bead caps. These are not labeled as nickel free, so I will be testing them as well. So in fact, let me take one of these and set it aside for later so that I can do some testing. One of these to set aside for later, because those are the 2 things so far that are not nickel free. Well, the 3. But these are our fancy little cone-shaped bead caps. They are 6.5 by 4.5 millimeters in size, and I'm actually curious about whether or not they are a good size for some silver silk pipe chain, because often you can use like cone-shaped bead caps or something in place of the silver silk end caps in order to cap them, and that fits just about perfectly. So we'll test these, see if they're good, because that is a fun way to dress up your silver silk if you're using that. Which, if you're not familiar with silver silk, it comes in different colors and textures, but you've got just a silicone tube that has wire knitted around it. And so it's just a fancy little tube, and you can get long strands of it. I'll put links to silver silk in the description if you want to check them out. That is one of my favorite things to do. And this is labeled 100% nickel free. It is a swirled brass fancy toggle clasp, and there are 2 of them. They're 25 by 17 millimeters in size. And that's the back side and the front side for both of these. They are very fancy. Very fancy. These would be the kind of fun, fancy toggles that you would want on like maybe a front closure design or something like that. And last but not least, we've got some 1 meter brass jewelry chain with 7mm wood beads. And this, again, we don't have any info on the metal that's used on this. So I'm going to be testing both the metal that makes the links and the metal that makes these spacers to see if it's safe for Jenny, because she would love to use this. And I love that we get so much of this, and I love that these are wood beads because it's so lightweight, and it's going to add a lot of texture to some of our designs on here to be able to use. There is so much of it, I don't know that it's going to fit in one of these sections. So I actually have more things than will fit in my organizer right here in this design. I also grabbed a couple of things from the Bargain Bead Box shop to add and expand what I can create with. Both of these were labeled as nickel free when I was purchasing them. One is this pin 559, and it's just some eye pins that are in this antique bronze colorway, and ring 142. It's multiple sizes of jump rings, and these are just going to be a fun way to add and addition and embellish some of the things that we've got, because you can use eye pins instead of using craft wire. If you're doing links, you just pop some beads on, make a little loop on the other end, and you've got a link that you can use for beaded chains. So I grabbed these to have something a little extra to be able to create with when we do some of our designs. But how fun are these? There's just way more stuff than will fit in here in this companion bundle. So I'm going to update this description of this video. It'll be down below the video or on the side for more info, depending on where you are watching this from, with the results of my nickel testing for those extra bits, which would be this guy, and this guy. So I'll let you guys know afterwards what we're doing with that, but look forward to some things created by my sister and I using this companion bundle. And before I go, let me grab the current one. It's not the full amount because I have created some things with it, but that is our current bead box that we had, and you can just look at these side by side and see how well they complement each other. Pretty great. I'm going to put links in the description to Bargain Bead Box and to Bead Box Bargains if you would like to check them out. I do have a coupon code that you can use that will get you a discount for your first purchase from Bead Box Bargains, or for your first box if you decide to subscribe. It is one of the most popular bead boxes out there for a very good reason. High quality beads, very beautifully curated, and one of the best values for money in my opinion. Until next time, my friends, happy beading.